Alan, can you tell us a little bit about the cabling solutions for the data center space that Panduit is showing at Data Center World?
Yeah, sure. What we're here to demonstrate and show you are products in relation to short circuit protection. And it's the short circuit protection of power coming into a data center, what we call the grey space. So what we have here is a representation of power cables coming into a data center. So when the power comes in, it's in large cables and supported by a containment system. Now, this is just an example of a whole load of different cables, and they can be in different format. They can be in single cable, double cable, or this is a trefoil arrangement, this is a quad arrangement. And what we're looking at is not just containment and managing the cables, it's for short circuit protection. What that means is, when there's a short and a cable is cut, the cables inside this arrangement all repel against each other. And when they repel, they do it like an explosion. And that can cause damage to the containment, to everything around it, and things can either fall on the floor, damage the equipment, damage the building, and harm people. So it's to prevent that. And there's different ways of doing it. So this is a traditional way, using a traditional style of cleat that's been around for probably 20 years. And the size of the cleat depends on the fault current of the cable. The larger the fault current, the more force you need to secure and hold that cable. So this is a traditional solution, but what we have is two alternatives. We have a strap solution and a tie solution. The benefits of these other products here is they can be, one, faster to install, and B, much lower cost. So they're the two major benefits. But there's some other benefits, is that when they're fitted, you can see that you can actually fit the cables far closer together. In example of something like this, or a larger version like this, you'd have to space the cables much further away, which means either you have less cables in a containment system, but with ours, you can get them all closer together, which could mean you can have a smaller, lower cost retainer system, or you've got more space putting extra cables in. So that's one advantage. When we come to select a cable, the size of the cable depending on the fault current and the arrangement we've got. So you could have a tie like this solution for a low fault current. You can move up in size to have a more secure solution. And even this one here is a strap solution. And each of these we single or double wrap to basically fix the tie to the cable. Underneath the strap solution and the tie solution, we have some cushion sleeving. And the idea of that is protect the cable. If they do have a short circuit and repel against each other, the edge of the tie doesn't cut into the sleeving. So that's where the cushion sleeving comes in. When we come to install a cable tie, for example, this stainless steel tie is firstly unique because it has a metal and a friction lock. It means it's far stronger, but it's also vibration proof. And when we come to install it, all we simply do is we can use a gun like this, wrap it round a cable, pull the trigger, and it tightens it up to a predetermined tension and cuts it. Once it's cut, there are no sharp edges, so you're not going to cut your fingers. One of the other benefits of a strap and a tie solution is it's flexible. If you look at alternatives like a traditional cleat here, when you buy a cleat, you know what the size of your cable is, and therefore you might have a 30 to 35 mil size, which is great. But what happens is the cable often has a tolerance, which could be up to maybe 5% larger. If all three cables are bigger, it may not fit, and you have to then take that cleat away, order a new one, and it comes back in again, hope for the right size. With a strap or a tie solution, you wrap this around, you poke it through the buckle, you tighten it up with the tool, and eventually it tightens up until your position you want and then cuts it. But one tie can do 2 cables, 3 cables, 4 cables, and they can have a tolerance of maybe 5-10%. One tie does all. So ultimately you have a very small selection of straps and ties on your shelf that can do a multitude of different sizes and cable solutions. So in summary, what we have is a traditional cable cleat solution, but we can have a lower cost strap, we can have a much lower cost tie, which is much faster to install. Gives you less space in your retainer, making you've got more capacity for more cables, and a much lower profile, which means you can even close a lid. For example, this one, you wouldn't. You'd have to have a riser and the lid up here. Again, saving space and time. And also, on the green side, if you've got, say, 1,000 of these, they're going to take up several pallets. Whereas if you've got 1,000 of these, you'll just have a few boxes. So we're saving space and we're not transporting a lot of products all around the world.